Hey, Rich Bailey. So, how does the world work? So basically, there's people who hate capitalism, and well, there's people who hate capitalism. So I guess I'm quite capitalism tolerant. And them. Yeah. I mean, if you want to open your lemonade stand, I'm not going to burn it down. So, capitalism is fine. Yeah. So there's people like, I guess from the aristocracy who haven't worked in like 5 centuries. I guess their family hasn't worked in 5 centuries. Like start Congress and wear the white wig and eat and get fat. As we know, Congress has a null balance account from which money spawn. Just infinite money. I mean, whatever budget passes, like people are looking. So, they can't pass like super massive, ultra huge thing. But kind of this infinite money, but whatever is approved is approved. People are voting and people are looking. But yeah. So basically, it's a meritocracy. And we have a lot of cities that export zero, even countries that export basically zero. I think it's basically a blue-eyed person thing, which is okay. We like blue-eyed people, it's like the life of the party and whatever, and everyone loves them. The countries with the most blue-eyed people, like, probably have the highest medium home income, like fantastic home income. It's kind of like a scientist sanctioned thing, almost like a global meritocracy, just inflation money everywhere. But you can look city by city, like cities that export zero. It's kind of necessary. It's basically necessary. Like it just works. So the people who are lunatic tyrants. They hate the people who started capitalism and making the customers happy, making their fans happy, and raking in the money. Be like, the money should belong in the hands of that guy wearing his white wig and eating it fat, and he's short Congress and eating it fat. And if you're even if you came into great wealth by selling products to customers, playing capitalism, they actually hate you. And there's still a lot of those people out there. And whatever. So, I don't recommend communism. I don't recommend universal basic income, UBI. Like a work opportunity tax credit is close to UBI, but it's like the world's tiniest speck, a little flat. I think it's $68 right now, flat 68 for basically everyone. So tax credit, it's the same idea, but it's a little speck, so that's why it's harmless and everyone likes it. It probably makes things better, not worse, but it's like the world's tiniest speck. But what putting communism would look like, once again, if we only focus on like putting the world's tiniest speck, it'd be fine for basically the same reason. It's not recommended, but if you put it like a little bit, it's basically harmless. Like you want the people on top to stay on top is basically the aim. You want to do as investors have all the money to buy that Walmart stock. So if you have a Walmart in your city, like raking in the money, I mean, Walmart's everywhere. Anybody could buy the stock. But like you don't want to like make like the communist grocery store and like compete. You don't want to do all that. But I mean, it'd be like something very, very, very small scale, like communist size food shop. I don't know, like get a little bit of money, you know. But what that looks like is like, say the city is now paying the employees, and the city is paying the truck that deliver the ice cream, of course, and then the city raises the money. The implication being a tax break for the whole city, but it's like a very, very, very tiny tax break. You know, your property tax is going to be basically the same. It's like you did nothing. I would say that's basically a limit if it was ever to be attempted in America anyway. You really want the rich people to win, basically, sadly, but that's just how it is. It works. You know, Walmart's probably making more than 1,000 times as much as, like, you know, the ice cream shop where you live. And like, of course, similarly, like, what is the worker hour reduced credit level? Free money for everyone's, you know, well under 1,000 times, you know. Well, I mean, 68,000 would be a lot, but middle class, you know. The point is, it's one of those things. It's not recommended, but if it's a little speck, then it's harmless. But whatever. One of the weird similarities of like Walmart and communism is that you just pay yourself in a circle. Like, what are the chances of somebody making dividends and hold on to the Walmart stock getting paid is actually shopping out Walmart? You're just paying himself in a circle. So you think if you went to a communism shop and then you're funding yourself to get the little tax break, you kind of paid yourself in a circle. There are similarities, but the thing is that would be a tax break for everybody everywhere instead of just whoever's winning already. So you got to look out for that. Like, it kind of breaks people's hearts. You want to work hard, you want to earn your money, you want to save your money, you want to invest your money, or maybe your dad did, or however the game is working. So if you lose your motivation to like push through the game if you start going the other way too much, basically. So basically you want to keep it how it is. So the meritocracy, you know, you get your college degree, you have an inflation-backed salary. The scientists who built the bank never left. I don't think this money is coming from the White House. They could secondly make it official. I heard from some sources that it was already official. I'm guessing that's not true. I don't even know that. I don't have a way to check. I'm like guessing my face off. But that looks like the IRS gives you a whole income size tax credit. Like, wherever you hired your college degree holding employee for, the IRS says, well, then that's a tax credit, like the whole entire payment. So if it was official, then that would be what that is. I heard that somewhere. It doesn't really matter who's doing it. But yeah, there's like, it's not quite so much a war against capitalism, even though it is. It's like a war against simply making the customers happy, making the people happy. Like, because like, they don't care if Nintendo makes the people happy and then they earn the money, or if like some hacker making a ROM hack, you know, like a Super Mario thing. But any ROM hack really, like just the free things here on the internet. They want to shut down all good things for all people, and they're crazy people, and they exist, and they certainly exist. And yeah, but like, I don't know. Be nice to the ADD people. I'm one of them. They say they have 1% less brain mass, which is probably true, but it's probably more like, imagine if it was like, I don't know, 2% less brain mass in like one area of your brain, and then plus an extra 1% more of another area. There's difference. They dream a lot. They dream a lot. They don't study. Will is not going to study. Really, I'm not. People go where they go for a reason, you know. You got to do your college torture test. You don't want the daydreaming guy to pick up his scalpel when you're going to become a heart surgeon, and you know, and there he is, like daydreaming, and like, you know, that's not where he goes. So, you know, people go where they go for very good reasons. They don't want to be, you know, the doctor. You don't want them to be your doctor. It's a very bad idea. And whatever. Ways to be nice to workers. Well, the thing is, you gotta be nice to workers, but if you push them in ways too high, then the small business break. Like, the bank doesn't own anything. Don't get confused and pretend the bank owns everything. Like, a lot of times the capitalism is real. So if you push them in ways too high, then the businesses start breaking. We can put maybe the lowest tax bracket can be negative, like maybe negative 10%, and like maybe from 0 to 10,000 range, you know, like 1,000 of your money. Now that would be you actually earning that money. So it's still on UBI. And then so for all those countless times everywhere, because people know what this is like. You know, like 500 job applications are received, and like one person gets the, you know, the hire, and like people start feeling like almost like they're so lucky they got struck by lightning, or like it's so improbable, like they actually get hired, and they're just like stuck, like keep trying, and it's hell. But so something like that would help the workers and even help them maybe retire sooner. Although what's going to happen is they're going to spend the money, but not all of it. You know, just randomly whatever they feel like doing. So it suggests they might retire sooner, which will help those other people who are desperate for a job. But I don't know, maybe make affordable housing. I like to squash all the people together for efficiency. Like maybe build vertical, you know, 2, 3, 4 stories. You know, 4 stories, like a nice condo, like low enough square feet that it's still affordable, but the people are squashed together, more energy efficient. You know, the other side of the wall, it's still warm. You know, whatever. Build it close to places. Build it close to the school. You know, school bus makes one stop instead of driving around the whole neighborhood. The school's a mile away. You know, save the fuel, save the energy. But so sadly, I like the idea of squash people together. I don't like wasting energy. Make it nice though, you know. Whatever is like the nicest cabinet, the nicest carpet, you know. Like our excuse for affordable housing was just less square feet than those, you know, big house over there, and whatever. It'll be nice to the workers. Whatever. And I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to say. Be nice to everybody. Yeah. And yeah, the game is good how it is. We don't want, like, say, go for like some crazy future where everyone stays home forever and has like a feeding tube and a robot to like stop by and refill, and just are stuck never doing anything, and the city's shutting down. The crazy people want to say that, like, you know, every man at his station is cruel, like, which is untrue. The workers are happy to be there where they are. You know, they basically think the planet's just for them. They're happy to be where they are. And they're wrong. I mean, even though it's planet's for everyone, the planet's for everyone. But like, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And plant some flowers. We like flowers and bees and flowering trees. That would help like crazy.